Now, just imagine yourself very sick and unable to communicate what is wrong with you to the health personnel due to a disability. That is the ordeal of many patients with hearing impairments. Their inability to communicate with most health personnel often affects the treatment they're given. Some persons with hearing impairments have been sharing experiences with Joy News' Henry Kwesibedu. This is his report, read for you.
Ghana's Disability Act 715 mandates public service providers to create the needed facilities to make their services accessible to persons with disability. Persons with hearing impairment, however, say the contrary is what they continue to endure on a daily basis, especially at hospitals. Meet Eric Boateng, a hearing impaired person since birth. He tells me his brother almost lost his life due to wrong communication at a clinic last year.
In fact, I remember I went to the hospital with my brother, deaf, and there was an interpreter, so I have to go with him. So, in fact, we went there and he wrote to the doctor that he's sick. But the doctor couldn't understand the writing, so he gave him a different medicine. He came to the house, took the medicine, and his problem was even worse than before. So he even asked him, the medicine the doctor gave me, it has given me problems. So,
sign language interpreter Robert Frimpong Mantong lost his sister just last month at Kumasi.
Was pregnant, say, 2 to 3 months. So she realized it and went to one of the major hospitals in Ashanti region, in Kumasi precisely. But when she went, she couldn't go with the interpreter and was not able to express herself well. So they gave her some medicine. And this lady came home and took the medicine. And eventually, what happened was she missed the pregnancy.
According to President of the Ghana National Association of the Deaf, Matthew Kabuchau, absence of sign language interpreters in hospitals has led to the death of many members of the association.
Many deaf people sometimes refuse to go to the hospital, and their reasons are when they go to the hospital, it's very difficult to get information. Yeah, and the service provided is not adequate.
What does he feel?
Yes, I have, yes. That time, that was in 2015. I was the secretary of the association, and we're informed that 37 died, and the president texted me that information that, hey Matthew, 37 people are dead at the hospital, and I have that information. Right up to December 22, were also found dead at the same instance.
The association therefore wants government to engage sign language interpreters in government agencies to assist.
Now, family members of the National Democratic Congress's Dafiama Busie Issa, constituency chairman, are asking the police to do a thorough investigation to find the culprits who killed the NDC chair, Richard Poulabong. He was gruesomely shot dead by 4 unknown assailants around Sagu, a community located at the outskirts of the Wa municipality. Now, the driver of the vehicle sustained gunshot wounds and is admitted at the Upper West Regional Hospital. The family of the deceased NDC chairman say they will wait for the police to finish their investigations before they hold his funeral. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam has this.
This was the vehicle that the NDC Dafiama Busie Issa chairman, Richard Poulabong, and 4 others were traveling back to Wawet after attending a funeral at Kajipuri on Wednesday evening. According to one of the occupants of the Benz ML, Brother Philip Boy, they bumped into 2 men who were wielding guns and flashing torchlights and ordered them to stop. They misinterpreted the scenario to that of a police snap checkpoint. They stopped to only realize that 2 other unknown assailants emerged from the bush.
And we detected that it is not police. Then we asked the driver to move. And after we asked the driver to move, we saw 2 to come out from the driving side. And we had a gun shock. They stopped on the driving side. and the driver was able to hang himself on the steer, and the bullet didn't get him, but the bullet were able to get into the driver's head, but it having entered, then it penetrated to our constituency chairman. Whilst they shot the gun, they were coming, that thought that maybe they have killed the driver. So, and we told the driver to proceed. Then we see what we bring our chairman to hospital, and our chairman were confirmed dead.
Since the incident, he has been unwell and going through psychological trauma.
There is panic on me. Even since yesterday, I could not sleep. When I sleep, it looks like as if my chairman is with me, so that I'm not feeling comfortable at all. What happened or what transpired yesterday. Family
members and close friends are in grief at Ndamba, the home of Richard Polbo. The pain of loss hangs over the whole suburb as they mourn their beloved extrovert chairman, whilst waiting for answers from the police on their investigations.
I can't put anything beyond justice we are calling for. We are just calling for justice, because Ghana should be free to the extent that an ordinary citizen can move around and do his business and come back safely. So if that is jeopardized, we should call the powers that be to enforce security. That is the only thing we can say for now. And so because of that, we have allowed the police to do their investigations and come out with a report. Then we can take it from there.
Spokesperson of the family, Julius Gandibu, noted that the death of Richard Polbo is a colossal loss to not only his family, but the entire Dafema Bure Issa district.
He is the type who invites everybody to himself. Apart from his party activities, he's a human-loving person. And so that will throw the whole house and the whole environment into a state of mourning. So it's not an easy matter. And we as a family have never seen this. This is the first time we're encountering this as a family. And so that makes it so heavy for us to bear.
The Upper West Police Command says they have started investigation into the issue. They, however, are tight-lipped to say whether the attack was politically motivated or not. Inspector Gideon Boatan is the Upper West Police Public Relations Officer.
What we are having on our desk is that there has been an attack. People have been robbed, and somebody, even not, I wouldn't even say they were robbed, because that person was shot dead, and the other one, the driver, sustained severe injury, who is now still on admission, and therefore we are investigating that case. We won't affiliate anything to any political aspect.
The family say they won't perform the funeral of the late chairman of the NDC until the police are done with their investigations. For now, there are signs of mourning everywhere since he has been pronounced dead. But family members, friends, and the NDC party are united in his grief. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Condolences to his family and also to the people of Dafiama Busie Issa. Now, Deputy Minister for Education Yawase Duchum has asked contractors working on classroom projects in senior high schools to speed up and make them available for use by September. He says it is critical in phasing out the double-track system. Now, Dr. Osei Duchum has been monitoring the ongoing West Africa Senior School Certificate examinations in schools in the Sechere South District of the Ashanti region. Nana Sensu-Mensah tagged along and brought us this report.
Out of 346,098 candidates sitting the 2019 WASSCE nationwide, 82,401 or 23.8% are in Ashanti region. The Deputy Minister's working tour covered Adujemfi SHS at Jamasi, Aguna SHS Technical and Kumasi Girls Senior High School. Candidates were writing their respective papers at the time the team arrived. Chief Director at the Ministry of Education, Benjamin Kofi Jesse, used the occasion to admonish them on exam malpractices.
Because we have faith in them, we are doing that. And they should also have faith in themselves. and apply themselves to their course of study. And then those writing should also focus on the examination, believe in themselves with whatever they've studied. They should just rely on what they've learned. They shouldn't resort to any foul play because the consequences can be dire for them. The parents have made a lot of sacrifice in addition to the effort the government has also put. The financial sacrifice for parents should not be allowed to go waste. So they should focus, believe in themselves.
On infrastructural deficit in various schools, Dr. Oseduchum urged contractors working on classroom projects to expedite action in order to finish by the end of August.
Various buildings are under construction across the length and breadth of this country in all senior high schools. So today we are at Adujemfi Senior High School to see the construction that is going on now. When this building is done, what is going to afford Adujemfi Senior High School to do is to eliminate double track from 2 next year. We know the double track began this year. We have Form 1 students who have been double tracked, and next year they are going to be 1 cohort. So for them, their double track journey will be over. I think, given what I see, they are capable. But I'm also going to encourage them to bring more workers so that they can move things fast. You know, things should move faster because you see they are laying the blocks here. Somebody could have been doing that one too. So we are going to talk to the contractor and the consultants to make sure that this will happen quickly for us.
The Deputy Minister encouraged school authorities to work towards reversing persistent failure in English language and mathematics.
Actually, in some subjects, performance have actually skyrocketed. For example, social studies students have done so well over the years. English and mathematics is where we had a dip last year. Our headmasters whose schools experienced that, we met with them in Accra. They all came back with determination to make sure we can stem the tide and really stop this downward slide and dip in student performance. The way we teach should be changed. Students should have a say in how the whole classroom discussions go. It should not be a monologue, it should be a dialogue. If you do a dialogue and students are involved in the teaching and learning process, it leads to higher retention of what is being taught.
Nana Asensumensa reporting.
Now, students of the University of Ghana have opposed the possible privatization of some 4 halls on campus over the failure of management to repay a loan facility contracted in 2008 for the construction of the halls. Now, a lawsuit has been brought against the university by the consortium of banks in the agreement led by Cal Bank, which ended with an order by the court for University of Ghana to pay off the accrued debt of 528 million cedis. Now, the halls in question are the Hilla Liman, Alexander Edum Kwapong, Elizabeth Francis Say, and the G. Nelson Aka halls. Latif Idris was at the University of Ghana to interact with the outgoing SRC president and the president-elect on this matter.
I believe that at the end of the day, it's a step in the right direction, and we as the SRC wants to maintain a position whereby the hostels would be affordable for the over 7,000 students across the diaspora stretch. And so what we are saying is that we are calling on management and we are calling on government to come in and mediate, and so that at the end of the day we can still have our hostels at very affordable prices and all. And so that's what the whole Save Diaspora campaign is about.
Okay, so the president keeps saying if, so it hasn't happened yet. Why the agitation?
Well, I believe that to every action, okay, there requires an equal and opposite reaction. Of course, we as an SRC, we've realized that if we sit idle, then of course things will get out of hand. Of course, when you look at Pent, Ivandi, TF, you would realize that these are private hostels, and it's evident that a private person is obviously of the take of making enough profit. So we can't sit idle for the aspirant halls to be privatized, which of course we make prehensions to the very fact that prices could reach a peak of 2,500 cedis to even 3,000 at max.
What informed that projection?
Looking, as I said, if a private person is coming to take over, he wants to maximize profit. A queue could be picked from the halls I earlier mentioned. They are paying such amount. So, of course, if we are making analysis to that effect, then it is in the right direction that we make such preemptions. These are not confirmed prices, but these are preemptions to that very fact.
Now, the National Communications Authority says it will continue with the shutdown of authorized radio stations in the country. The authority today closed down pro-NDC stations Radio Gold and Radio XYZ. Officials of the authority, in the company of armed policemen, today stormed the premises of the two radio stations. Well, that was yesterday, claiming they had not renewed their licenses. But officials of Radio XYZ say they were not given prior notice of the NCA's action, although they had written to the authority applying for the licenses. Erica Hianyo is managing news editor at Radio XYZ.
Yeah, they were here this afternoon around 2:30 p.m. and their instruction was that they have given us a letter which they were directed to come and shut the station down.
And prior to the incident, were you having any correspondence with the NCA?
What I know, we've been trying to get in touch with them to regularize anything outstanding, but they were not forthcoming. That's what I know internally.
I see. Does it come to you as a surprise?
Very, because they came here with fully armed police officers, and I don't think that if you want a station to comply by regulations, you need to come here with intimidating police personnel. I mean, I don't think that's necessary.
I see. And they say that you're operating without authorization. That is the statement they have issued. I don't know if you've received a copy of the statement.
I think I've seen it. I've seen it.
And is that what it is? Is that the case?
I thought this issue was being handled by GIBA, and there was an issue with the electronic tribunal. So that is where we are taking the matter from. And so we didn't believe that that is how it should end.
And the letter, please, I want to be clear. What date was on the letter?
It was written on the 8th of May, and they served us today, 2:30.
And you say prior to that, there hasn't been any correspondence between you and NC?
No. As far as I know, I am very much aware they've not given us any information like maybe notifying you or giving you a number of days to comply with certain regulatory issues.
Now,
Forgive us, that is not Erica Hianyo. Now, the NCA has justified its decision to shut down the radio stations, and Director General Joe Anoche addressed a news conference on this matter.
At the time when the audit was done, a decision was made to apply sanctions to FM authorization holders who had their authorization expired. So we relied on our schedule of penalties, and so we applied sanctions accordingly. Most of them were fine. At some point in time, several others decided to go to seek redress in the court. The law allowed them to do that. So some went to the High Court, others went to the Electronic Communication Tribunal. Long and short, the tribunal in this ruling decided that at the time that the fines were made, the authorization had expired. So if the authorization was expired, you could not fine them. Essentially what it means is that you return, those who have made any payment, return their money to them, and then apply the inherent sanctions that we do have at NCA. That is, if your authorization has expired, you're just like anyone who don't have any authorization. So if you are on air, you are unauthorized. You are illegal. So we decided to apply the law as is, and that's what we have done. It's an ongoing exercise. Today is the first phase. Tomorrow we'll be in other places, but it's we intend to ensure that the law is enforced. Again, understand that the ruling by the Electronic Communication Tribunal was very clear that we could not apply fines, which was our preferred way of resolving this. And so what do? You couldn't allow them to operate without authorization. They will be doing that illegally. And so that's the decision the authority made. And as I said, we will continue. It's an ongoing exercise. We hopefully within, hopefully by the end of the month, we should be done.
And that's it for the news. Mama V joins me shortly for the newspaper headlines and hopefully some traffic updates too.